What is something that is considered kindness but is just basic human decency? Bringing things to lost and found at events. I recently found a lost phone in the street and picked it up so it didn't get run over. It was locked, but there were some text messages with names. I messaged all those people on Facebook and let them know that I found their friend's phone. I took it home, but didn't hear from anyone, so took it to my local PD and left it with them. Edit, when they opened on Monday, a couple days later the sheriff shows up at my door because I was in possession of a stolen phone. The owner used Find My Phone, saw it was at my house, and called them. Never tried to call the phone, the friends never told him I was trying to return it. It took a lot of explaining that I was just trying to do the right thing. Definitely made me question trying to help. I was once behind a person at a very large intersection when he made a left-hand turn. I saw something fly off the hood of his car and land in the very center of this 5-lane intersection. I thought it looked like a cell phone. I pulled over into the gas station right on the corner and went out into the middle of the intersection waving my hands so everyone would stop. It was a brand new iPhone X. It literally was like 2 days after it released. Had to be $1,000 phone. It had a great case and a screen protector and flew into the intersection without getting a scratch or a dent. I held on to it. I couldn't make a call because it was locked. About an hour and a half later the phone rang and I answered it. Of course it was the owner. I told him what happened and I went back and met him at the gas station where I picked it up after he lost it. He was so grateful that I held on to it cause it would have been destroyed in the middle of that intersection if I hadn't picked it up. He insisted that he gave me $75 for my troubles. I would have done it for free, but he was insistent because it would have cost him so much more to replace it. I was at a beach in Florida once and this dude with a metal detector found an engagement ring. It had quite the rock on it. I was checking it out with him when we see a visibly distraught woman and her partner searching for something with a cheap metal detector they must have just bought. We both see her at the same time, make eye contact, and he just goes, "Well fuck." She described the ring perfectly and he returned it to her. One time I was scuba diving at night and I dropped a really expensive flashlight at the surface. The clip I used to secure it to my equipment came loose. I wanted to go look for it so badly but decided it was too risky to go down without a functional light. I ended my dive early and wrote it off as lost forever. A week later I decided to check out a local FB scuba dive group just in case. I was completely shocked to see a post saying a flashlight was found in the ocean at 55 feet deep, and after describing it to them, they gave me their address so I could go pick it up. I can't even tell you how grateful I was to them. Like, yeah, it's just a flashlight, but the gesture itself and the effort they went to, when they could have easily just kept it, was really moving. So a few years ago, 15 years ago, I went to do a litter pick for a company for the V Festival in England. We were employed with about 90 other people over 3 days. We'd form a line and march over the grass that was loaded with old tents and rubbish and anything you can imagine. Couple of us found bits of money and this and that. I found a beer cooler and my interest made me open it. I found a set of Mercedes keys, a wallet with about 450 pounds and 2 mega expensive phones. I asked the manager what to do and they said they'd hand them in. I took it upon myself to find out whose phones they belonged to, as one was unlocked. I took the name and number and called them when I got home. An elderly Indian gentleman answered and I explained I'd found his stuff. We arranged to meet up. Luckily he was only an hour away and I delivered his possessions. His wife was so happy to have them back, their car was towed home, that she made me and my family dinner that lasted about a week and a half. Tons of gorgeous Indian food. I've worked in the service industry and the education system, and it never ceases to amaze me how rude people can be. I've been on the internet and I'm still amazed at how rude people can be. There are some people who just jump to anger super quickly. I went camping a few years ago with a bunch of people. While I was playing guitar, this one guy over and over again kept telling me how good of a match I'd be for his sister. He wasn't happy she was dating a guy 10 years older than her and was telling me all about it while I just smiled and didn't pay much attention to him while I picked a few chords. I thought the whole situation was hilarious, so after he left me alone I put my guitar down and went to go tell my brother about it. The guy overheard bits and pieces and knew I was talking about his sister and assumed I must be talking shit about her. Suddenly he yelled, "The fuck are you saying about my sister?" and held my guitar above the fireplace threatening to throw it in. Bunch of people leveled him, didn't blow up past that. Some people are just going to assume the worst in everyone and react accordingly. His sister could be perfect for me and I still wouldn't date her just at the prospect of him being a potential brother-in-law. Edit, I just figured I should add since this has so much attention, it didn't take him long to apologize for acting like an ass. He was so embarrassed for what he did he had a few tears and hugged me. Picking up their rubbish in public and putting it in the bin. Edit, this now makes up almost a third of my karma. Amazing. While I was out yesterday I saw a kid drop his disposable mask. His mom told him to pick it up, he said it's fine, he has another in his pocket, and they just left it on the ground. Mind-boggling. I can't even imagine being so entitled. There's a woman that comes in to get gas where I work at least once a week. She always throws her trash out the window before she drives away. Last month I was doing the trash at the pumps when she pulled up. I was so irritated at her that I stood there and stared at her the whole time. She kept looking over at me as she got her gas, and after a bit someone who I think is her son got out of the car and asked why I was watching. I just told him I was waiting to clean up her trash after she litters. He looked at me, just went okay and got back in the car. She left without littering and hasn't done it since. Cleaning up after yourself after eating in a fast food place. Don't leave your bags and trash scattered all over the table. FFS. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.